Hey folks, this is ioEther and we're back with some more World of Tanks. As you can see, this is Deadly Smurf in the M103, and this is a tier 9 game on Stalingrad. Yeah, I didn't blank there for a second at all on what the name of this map is. Anyways, so, ooh, look at this, decked out, large first aid kit, small repair kit, and the auto fire extinguisher should be there anyway, but the large first aid kit's a little weird. But oh well. Sorry about the glitches with the chat. This is of course because this is a 9.20.1.1 game that's played in 9.20.1.2, which makes, you know, it obviously means it's gonna bug up. Just because I'm a micro patch behind. Anyways, before we get into this game, I forgot to introduce the tank. This is an M103. This is a tier 9 American heavy tank. I absolutely hated this tank. I enjoyed the M3 Lee more than I enjoyed this tank. It was bad. Basically, the strengths and weaknesses of the tank are, if you're shooting at it from exactly this angle, then it's a fairly strong turret. However, if you shoot at it from this angle, that is a weak spot. This is a weak spot all the way around, but it's hard to hit when you're shooting at it from this kind of angle because it is so rounded. Your shots will ricochet out into space more often than not. And the turret is curved so that most of your shots will ricochet when you're looking straight down the barrel of it. As for the hull, the only weak spots are around at the top. You can hit these observation ports. Other than that, you're shooting for right beside the drive wheel or the middle of the lower glacis. If you have high enough caliber, you can punch around through there. The problems with the M103 come when it turns its turret at all, because anything other than straight on, and this turret just becomes like Swiss cheese, and rounds will go through it like nobody's business. And if something is slightly above it, like say this angle, then this becomes a lot more prominent, and suddenly you'll get penned through the cupola all the time. So yeah, be careful if you're driving an M103, because your turret isn't as strong as everything else in that line is. Everything else in the M103 line has a great turret and an okay lower glacis, or an okay hull, whereas the M103 is the complete opposite. It has an okay turret and a great hull. So preferably you want people to try and shoot you in the hull, but more often than not they'll just shoot for that massive dome on your head, which is known as your turret. So yeah. Before we get into this game, please, if you want to help support the channel, then the two best things you can do are hit that like button if you enjoy this. That would help out quite a bit. And share this with your friends and clanmates, and that will help out quite a bit as well. We're only 9 subscribers away from 400. Please, I really want to hit that landmark, right? Okay, into the game we go as we open up with bouncing a nice, well, you know, we side-scraped it. It tracks ate it. However, our shot went in, and I didn't see where it was aiming. Ooh, as it dodges that shot from the Oho, barely having that shot fly over the back of his tank. Knowing the other enemy has fired, he pushes up, and now he's looking for a shot on the Oho. Not gonna find it. Oh, and that is the problem with shooting at the cupola of the M103. At least half the time you will crit hit and do no damage. But it obviously took out his observation device. It was a snapshot by the enemy, and look at that. Because of the fact that our turret wasn't perfectly square to him, allowed him to pen the top of it right there. And even if it is perfectly square, by the way, that's no guarantee that it's going to ricochet around. So you just gotta be careful with this thing and don't get shot in the turret if you can possibly avoid it. second shot into the turret, almost exactly the same place, and again just loses 400 health, and does manage to return a shot. Doing M103s, he's hoping to stall out long enough he can. Ooh, no, M103 was not going to charge him. I thought for a second he was going to charge. Looks like Deadly wants to. Yep, and he just ricochets one off the top because he didn't get it square. And it's just one of the things with this tank is penning that turret is a hit or miss kind of thing. But when you're in the M103, some reason that always seems to pen. Now we go. Skoda taking out, or sorry, Prototype taking out the enemy M103. Enemy Charioteer has pushed forward, and so now Deadly wants to go ahead and take advantage of that. And it looks like Charioteer's decided to run, and it actually lets us get 2 free shots on him. One when he was up against the wall, and one on his way out, and then he kind of pushed up while staying mostly behind cover and baits out the shot from the T-32 and puts a nice shot into him in return, tracking him. He's not so worried about the Charioteer pushing out as much as it did. It would have to come all the way around in order to actually do damage. Whereas that T-32 apparently just wants to get shot again, so why not, right? And again, the Charioteer is not going to attack. We have the backup of the Prototype. Unfortunately, over-angling as he backed out and got himself shot by the T-32. But at this point in time, he's got the Charioteer exactly where he wants him, and he's just gonna try to not get snapshot. Yeah, as he pops out and ends the life of the Charioteer. At this point in time, he wants to avoid having the Oho shoot him and then return fire, and pen is exactly what he did. And at this point, it's just mop up. Pop up next to the T-32, hope he's not pointing in this direction, and put a round into him. Or he's going to stop while he types. No, he was not typing, so he was texting and driving or something similar. And this is one of the ways you can use the M103. Again, this turret is like Swiss cheese. You can see all the places it was penned this game. And it's just as much as it's awesome in so many ways, in a lot of the ways that count, this is a medium tank and not a heavy. Though it is in fact the size of a heavy. There we go. We're just gonna end the game. 5 kills. Unfortunately, not able to secure that 6-scale Top Gun. Still quite a great game. Thank you so much for showing it off. And yeah, that was good enough for an ace tanker, bruiser, duelist, fighter, fire for effect. Unfortunately, no epic medals over here. Just not quite there. Almost killing that M103. 3,800 damage dealt. Wow, actually, most on the team barely scraping by that Skoda. Kind of wondering why he didn't get a high caliber. But, oh well. Well done anyway. 14 shots fired, 2 misses. Well, sorry, 2 non-pens. Everything they fired did in fact connect with a target. Just a couple of those shots on the cupola of the M103 didn't in fact go through. And 700 spotting damage, because why not round off your numbers a little bit more, right? For a 5-minute game, this was completely worth it. And this showed off a lot of the reasons I hated this tank, but also a lot of reasons why if you play it well, you can do well in this tank. And I'd actually like to see more games in tanks I hate, because that will show everybody else what you can actually do in these tanks if you get good at them and want to. Thank you so much, Deadly, for saying this in. Thank you all for watching. If you want to support the channel, then please hit that like button if you have enjoyed this, and show this off to your friends and clanmates. Again, we're looking for 9 more people to join us so we can get up to 400. And so yeah, thank you all. Have a great night. This ioEther out.